Hi everyone. Today I wanted to show you how I have been using my day designer. This of course is the Target version with a collaboration with Blue Sky. And if you're confused about that like I was initially, Blue Sky has done a lot of different collaborations with many other designers, but I did like the day designer layouts the best. You can only find these at Target or the Blue Sky website. You cannot find these versions on the day designer website. If you do go there, you're only going to find her flagship planners, which they are a little bit bigger than this size. They are nicer quality and have a few extra features than this version. However, with the $59 price tag, I really could not justify that for myself because this is only $11. And I did not think that the flagship planner had $48 worth more of high quality features. So I am perfectly happy with this. It does exactly what I need it to do. And if you saw my daily planning and how I do that with this Cambridge Notes, essentially the day designer is set up exactly how I was using this. And so I was just using this notebook until this started because this is an academic version. So of course, July through June are the dates here. And I was just doing the same kind of thing where has the top three are the most important things to get done and just kind of your task list. And then this over here was my timeline, how I wanted my day to flow according to the hours. And so that's essentially exactly what this day designer is set up for. So it works out perfect for my style of planning and just how my brain was working. This does come in a daily and a weekly version, and they have very limited covers. So the daily has one cover and the weekly has one cover per size. So the weekly version of this is floral, and that's how you can be very distinctive on which is which there. Fortunately, I am a daily girl and I do like the stripes, so that worked out perfectly for me, but just know that you're not really going to have any other options. It seemed like on the Blue Sky website there were a few more options on there as far as the covers were concerned. But I just think this is a huge bargain. They do come in two different main sizes, at least at Target. On the website, there is a smaller size as well, but this is the 5x8 size. For me, this is my perfect size. It's a little bit smaller than an A5, but bigger than personal, just kind of that perfect in between. So it's portable enough and small enough that that won't be a problem, but it also gives you enough room for lots of writing on the daily pages. So it's just great. I do follow Whitney English on Periscope, and one of her scopes, she talks specifically about this particular cover. And she calls this Blavey, the Blavey cover. And if you see, it's fairly true to life here, where in some lights it looks black and in some light it looks navy, and it's really neither. It's in between. So it's a little bit darker than navy, but not quite black. So I think she's spot on with that color. And the version of the Blue Sky and the Target just has these plastic covers. The weekly version of this one, I really liked the plastic cover. It looked like a page protector where it has kind of a top-loading envelope feel to it. That is a cool feature, and I don't know why there's a difference between the weekly and the daily as far as that is concerned. That would be a nice feature to have here, but I'm not complaining. It's just they just chose to do different things for each one of those. But this is extremely durable. When you buy just a regular day designer, it has a very thick cardboard cover to it and some gold corners and things like that. So, but like I said, I didn't feel like for me that was something that I needed to spend extra money on. So let me go ahead and show you how I am using this. And right off the bat, my Target sticky notes. Okay. So I always have to have some kinds of sticky note dashboard. So if you've been following me, you know that I'm trying to use up these horrid Target sticky notes, which you can see, they don't stick very well. And so this one I am using for my weekly meal plan ideas because there are 7 lines. This one right here I am using for things that we need to talk about at my weekly budget meeting with my husband. And then this one down here, I'm just writing things that need to be used up for food for the week. And then for page flags, I really use those mainly either for appointments or my YouTube planning. I have a list of videos that I want to make or ideas, and then I just put one on each of the flags. And then I go forward to the weeks and the months, and I kind of just plug them in where I think it's going to work out. And then when I get to that week or that day I can decide if that's going to work or if I feel like doing something else. And that system has been working really well for me for a very long time. So even though this is the less expensive version, you do get some great pages that the flagship Day Designer planner does have, which her goal planning pages. I did fill those out, and I wrote these in pencil because I wanted to have the ability to change some things up or erase or whatever. And I continued that with the first month using pencil. I'm just using some transparent stickers right here. Of course, green means that it's finances, so I am using that for our paydays. And my very first clip goes straight to the current month. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this for another month or so because it is getting pretty full, but I did just use this because it matched the gold spiral, and these are the 8 for $1 ones that you get from Dollar Tree, so very inexpensive. And this planner, if you didn't see my other video, really it's just kind of my nitty-gritty planner, nothing fancy, and it's just a running to-do list and kind of just planning out my day. I don't do a lot of pretty things in here. There are a few things that if I feel like adding it, I will, but otherwise I don't feel like I have to do anything special in here. This really is just mostly writing. I, again, have some stickers here for paydays, and then this one is a very important birthday that I need to remember. And then it goes straight into all these bookmarks. I'm kind of bookmark happy here. And this goes straight to the current day. And I'm really just using this kind of the same exact way. You can see that I have an Erin Condren bookmark here. She calls this the Snap-in Productivity Dashboard. And I'm using this because it's a daily planner. I kind of need some weekly things going on here. So this is my weekly running to-do list of things that I want to get done. I do have this color-coded. So green, of course, is finances. Orange is anything to do with like food or menu planning. Pink is personal, and blue is my house. And then I check it off if I've been working on it, and I cross it off if it's completely done. And then on the back, this is another reason why I really love this particular dashboard, because it fits your standard 3" by 3" sticky notes, the Target ones that I was talking about. So you're probably not going to be able to see this very well because my pen is not great, but here's just an example. So like blueberries, you know, I just got to eat my blueberries, but other ingredients will actually, I'll use those for my menu planning. And then these sticky notes, as you can see, the Target sticky notes, I think the appeal of them is they look really good, but the performance of them is just completely horrible. So it has this nice section here, really set up well because of the 7 lines to use this for anything you want to do for weekly, you know, 1 line per day. But this is where they kind of lose me besides the sticky part. As you can see right here, 7 lines, nice little header here. But if you count, there's 8 circles. I mean, Target, why? Why do you do this? This makes me twitch. So how I've gotten over this is I just use Avery 1/4 inch dots, and I just line those up so the circles match the lines. And I just check off the meal if we have used it or I've made it. And then if it works out, it works out. If not, I just move it forward to the next week. So let me put those back. And if you've been following me, I'm just trying to use up my supplies that I don't really like. A lot of people, I still get questions and comments about this, but they don't understand why I'm doing this. But if you've read Gretchen Rubin's current book, which is Better Than Before, she talks in there, and I'm a finisher. I just like to finish things. It just makes me feel good. So that's what I'm doing. So let me show you how this looks in the spiral, because obviously Erin Condren and the Day Designer have different spirals. The Erin Condren, as you can see, is the one that's close together and single, and this is the double coil right here. But this one still works. So right here at the top, there's 4 circles. If you go down to the 3rd one and put this on the first spiral, it works out perfect and lines up. So it's evenly spaced at the top and the bottom. There is overhang. That does not bother me because I love this dashboard so much. It's very functional for me and is working out really well. But in case you're wondering, that does work. The next bookmark I have, this is the Franklin Covey wire-bound pouch page finder. This is in their classic size, which is like their A5 size. And what I'm using in here, the pouch means this, where it has this little flap you can stick things. So it's 2 sides right here are secure, and then it can open up. And I'm just using these, which I've had since Martha Stewart was initially in Staples a long time ago. So that just the disc, and I just cut off the holes right there, and as you can see, it's a perfect fit. And I just use this for my AM and PM kind of planner routine things that I'm working on, so I can see all of these every single day. And it hasn't bothered me to move these because obviously I'm only moving these every 2 to 3 days depending on if there's a weekend. And last but not least here for my bookmarks is this, just some notepads right here. This is another Erin Condren. This is a coil clip. This is the 2-inch one. So again, just like the original dashboard, it works just fine because you're going to be skipping holes with the double coil, and you can just pop this one in anywhere you want. I just have mine at the top. And I just needed a place to just jot some things down if something comes up, if I need to add it to my brain dump list or things that I want to get done. I have to find something, so I just had a note there. And then this one is just kind of a running list of menu ideas as they pop into my head, because obviously this is way more than 7, so I don't need this for my whole week. And then this one right here is some YouTube video ideas. You can see for September, there's a sneak peek there. And again, just some running list of ideas. I do have this. I heard that the coil clips were not reusable, and I didn't want to take any chances on that, so I just have a wash piece, a little piece of washi tape right here, and that's how I've attached it right there. So this is reusable. I wanted to get my money's worth out of this because I like to do that. So how I'm using my pages, like I said, is pretty much the same as my daily. So the top 3, I've kind of gone back and forth between that, but I'm now thinking actually what are the 3 most important things I need to get done for the day, because sometimes I've just started doing my running to-do list, and then I have them in both places, and when I do that I have a tendency to just only look at the to-do list. I also have a tendency, because there's so many lines here, to fill up every single line, and I'm trying to not do that because that's not really an effective use and it's not really realistic there. And then the timeline here, how I've used this a couple different ways. With the schedule, if I have a couple things like I did here, then I will just use a transparent shape with a color, and I just need it to stand out is really why I do that. If I don't have anything planned for the day, or I just have a lot of things I want to get done, then I'll take my to-do list and start plugging in how I want my day to flow and what I need to get done first. And so I will just kind of ignore the times over here, which are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sorry, other way around, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The tonight section, I don't really write usually very much in there. The gratitude section, I have a gratitude journal, and this really is not enough space for me, so I just cross that out, and this is where I put my menu plan for that day. So when I am back here looking at my menu ideas, I kind of just look at my schedule, what needs to be used up, because some things are going to spoil before some other things, and that's how I come up. I try to do my menu plan like that the night before, kind of when I'm either making the dinner currently or cleaning up or something like that. I try and think about the next day. That doesn't always work, of course, but sometimes I will just do it in the morning as well. But that's how this whole thing has been working. And then I love the quotes. If I really love the quote, I will circle it or highlight or kind of underline some words that really stand out to me. But I really like these features. And once in a while, I have put a strip of washi tape for mainly just a spot of color or some motivation or something like that. But I really don't use any pretty kind of stuff. This to me is more functional. And then this is what I was talking about. I've got some sticky notes with my YouTube ideas till the rest of the month. And then this is, I have this at the back of each month, or I'm going to move it to the back of each month. So at the back of August, beginning of September. This is the Franklin Covey Classic, which is that A5 size wire-bound full-page pouch page finder. So here's how this one looks. So not to be confused with the regular pouch page finder. And I showed both of those in my Franklin Covey accessories video. This is the one that is on sale for 99 cents that I really like. So on this one, I just needed something to shoot for. So this is kind of, I wrote down what my ideal day was, how I wanted that to go. Of course, that never really goes according to plan, but it's just something to shoot for and to strive for. And I look at that as much as possible. And then on the back of that, I just have what I call my soul food. And what that means is anything that is good for me, and it's all of these things don't cost any money. So just things that are positive or really helpful in my life. Because sometimes if I'm having a hard day, I just forget kind of what things, like go listen to music. It makes you feel better. So I don't know if anybody else needs that kind of a list, but I certainly do. So I refer to that often, and these definitely every single day. I wanted to show you on this one that I am using wet erase markers. And these are the Zebra Mackie wet erase, and these are double-sided. I was only able to find these on jet pens. And you can definitely use any kind of wet erase or Sharpie permanent on here. But the reason I ended up with these is because they are double-sided, and because they are an Asian pen, then they are a lot finer, and that's really the reason why I ordered these, because I like that ultra fine tip. These are the broadest tip, and this is equivalent to like a Sharpie ultra fine tip. So I really like them. They are, in my opinion, a little bit pricey. They're $20 for 8. So I wouldn't buy these unless you're like me and you just want that, micro fine tip to use. In a pack like this, I would say, really nice colors. They do write a little bit on the lighter side. That does not bother me at all. And because they are wet erase, like you can't rub your finger across it like a dry erase and it automatically erases, but you can kind of rub these off. It really does only last about a week before it starts erasing kind of itself, rubbing against the paper. So I would probably rank these about a B. And then for the color selection, this is across the board. I have an issue with all pen companies doing this, but the yellow, I know that's a primary color, but as far as a writing implement, yellow is terrible. You just cannot see it. I'm going to show you a sample here in just a moment. So I guess I understand in theory why they do that, but in real life, it's just really does not work. So I would much prefer, as you can see, there's no purple, which is a main secondary color, and they give you 2 blues. They're both beautiful, but it's just one of those things where I don't understand why they don't do, give us some more colors that are a little bit more effective there. So let me show you the samples. So here's the Zebra, as you can see. They're really not dark. Even the blue is just not that dark. And here's how they look according to the Sharpie. Let me take this out so you can see that a little bit better and not have a glare. See what I'm talking about, the yellow? Like you can't even tell that I wrote Zebra there. It's really, really difficult. So great as highlighters, absolutely, but yellow as a writing implement is just terrible. So here's a Sharpie fine permanent marker. You see that it comes with a double tip. It's 0.9 and 0.6. So the 0.9 is really equivalent to a Sharpie ultra fine, and the 0.6 is just off the charts, which I love that that's so fine there. So let me show you what the tips look like. So here's the 0.9, which is the fattest tip, and that's the one that writes like an ultra fine Sharpie. So it looks like it's going to write fatter than it really does. And here's the 0.6, which looks like the ultrafine Sharpie, but it does write a lot more. I would call this more of a microfine. So that's why I bought these, and I do like them. Okay. As far as I was going to show you this because this is another issue I think with some people with this planner, is that they do have combined weekends. Really what I've been doing with that one is on the Friday with the to-do list, I kind of use that as an overall to-do list for the whole, like Friday and the whole weekend, because Friday, or weekends for me at least, are a lot of combination things with my family or tasks that we're doing together. So I don't really have like tons of personal tasks that I need to get or done or have time over the weekend. And then again, with the timeline, I kind of just have used that as how I want my day to flow, or some things that, activities that we're doing together. And then on both of these where it says next week and don't forget, I cross out both of these and continue to use that as my menu planning. And the take a time out, fun things to do, that's a really good reminder, especially for someone like me who's always very task oriented and just wants to get things done. But for me, getting stuff done is a fun thing. So we don't really do super fun kind of stuff. So I'm still using this kind of as the top 3 that I need to get done for the weekend. And then let me show you here in the back what I have done. I am using my notes. I'm trying not to be too precious with my notes like I have done in other planners. You do get quite a few notes in here. And so I have been using those. And on the very back page, I've stopped kind of doing pen tests because I've kind of figured out for most paper what pens are going to do well, except for the Day Designer. This one really caught me off guard. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Whitney said that the flagship planner is 80 GSM and this paper is 70 GSM, so really close. And I've written, on all different kinds of papers. However, this paper has some kind of magical quality to it. So whatever, even though they use a certain GSM, I don't know, they're using really high quality paper of that, because these souffles right here, which I've been using in my planner, these are designed for colored and dark paper, and I've shown you a sample on my Instagram where they just really are not a good pen for me. I've not had good success with them. They're very inconsistent, and they really do a lot of like globbing. And I'll show you what I mean. Like, I constantly am having to wipe off the excess ink, and so this back page, that's exactly what I use it for. And then sometimes it has a hard time starting, so it takes a while. So I haven't really been able to use these in any other planner or even the colored paper, except in the Day Designer, which is just shocking to me. So great. And so here's my different samples. So I'm going to use all of my souffles, which I would say are probably the second worst pen that I've ever used. Again, it goes back to, I'm just a finisher. I just want to use up these supplies. And I'm going to use these till the end of the year. End of the year meaning December, not the end of the year of this planner, which is June. And then look at this. This is my favorite fountain pen, the Vanishing Point. And I'm going to show you how these look. So as you can see, shadowing, which is not surprising there. What really is surprising is the fountain pen has as much shadowing as some of my gel pens up here that I sampled. And there's absolutely no bleed through on those. So yay, I'm ecstatic. If you're wondering, yeah, you absolutely can use a fountain pen in the less expensive Day Designer, the one from Target. So I think that's fantastic. I mean, bravo, Day Designer. I'm giving you a standing ovation. That is fantastic. Then at the very back, I just have a pen loop and a transparent sticky pocket. These are both from Mochi Things. And in the pocket, I just have some alcohol pads here, and that's what I use to erase once a week right here. And then I have my transparent stickers. So the hearts are what I'm using for anything with friends or family. If we've got, someone's coming over for dinner, or we're going somewhere, or just have an activity with friends and family, that gets a heart around the time. And I kind of go opposite of whatever my pen is for the month, because I change my pen out monthly. So right now I'm using this, lighter green. So I'm definitely not using green this month for the hearts. I'm using some of the other colors. And then I've got these circles, and really I have the circles for when I run out of these, and then my squares. And then this is the one I'm using the most. And these are Mindwave brand, as you can see. These are Haruko. And I got all of my Asian/transparent stickers off of Etsy. I've had these at least for several years. I know that they still have them, and I'll link my shop below that I really like. It's Kawaii Stickers for You with number 4 and then YOU on Etsy. I probably would not buy this particular pack again, and the only reason is because I like to do, as you can see, more color coding and have more consistent shapes. And so I prefer something like this, where I can count on I'm going to have the right number of shapes and the right number of color. So that's really the only thing there. And if you're wondering, the size on these is 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter. I think it's actually 9 millimeters, but that size is going to be perfect for the weekly lines, for the hours. They go right around, and it's that size for one of the hours right here. So I like that. And then the last stickers, I just have my Avery dots right here. These are the 1/4 inch dots for those Target sticky notes. And then I do have this, and I'm just using that old gift card for once in a while I'll put some washi on there. Let me see if I can show you an example really quickly. I'll take my clip off. So right here, I did write some quotes here. I think my washi's actually, yeah, I just put a couple washi things right here. Once in a while, I'll throw in some emoji stickers, but you know, nothing fancy right there. If I do have a day, I know it's hard to see because my pen's really light here, but if I do have a day where I'm not very productive or I didn't do any planning or anything like that, I kind of always want to know what my problem was. So I've been writing in what it was, whether I'm not feeling well or if my husband works from home, that always dramatically affects my schedule. So just that kind of a thing. And it's just a reference. So I'm kind of just, you know, kind of judging myself or evaluating myself. And so I don't feel too bad if I miss a day or something like that. Anyway, I hope that has been helpful. I know some people have been waiting for this and asking how I've been using it and loving it. I really do like this. I'm going to continue to use it. I think it's a fantastic bargain. I mean, just across the board with Blue Sky and Target and Day Designer, I think it was a great collaboration. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will talk to you again soon.